morning. We are there. Took a little while to switch. Good morning. I keep thinking it's Monday and it's really not. Is anybody else doing the same? I'm so confused as to what day of the week it is. But good morning to you. I'm just finishing off this morning's make. It's a big one this morning, but it's useful. We like useful. I'm going to pop a bit of fabric in there so that you can see how useful it is. Thanks, Jane. Where did it... Jane, oh, there! Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Thank you. If you need storage, we all need storage, then here we go. This one might be for you. This is my storage caddy. I've called it a contrast caddy because there is contrasting fabrics. I have made this one out of Tula's fabrics because I wanted something that my dinosaurs could romp around, and I can fill this with all my goodies, and then if I need to get into stuff I can just fold my contrast top down. So that's the idea here, and then I still get my dinosaurs. So I've obviously had to put some bundles together for you. I've got brand new fabrics for you as well. Let's pop that up there. So, oh, it's on a bit of a wonk. There we go. And that's what we've got for you. We have had quite a busy weekend here. Have you all had a nice time? Have you had a nice... Jane's back from her holidays. That's the big news. Jane is back from her holidays. Hooray! So hopefully some sort of normal service can resume, which is good. We have got, for your delectation, brand new Robert Kaufman. That's come in. We've put that in bundles for today. So for today, you're going to need three fabrics, and I'll show you for why in a minute. If I move, I'm going to do a little switcheroony and pop that there so that you can actually see it. Actually see the dinosaurs. It was absolutely perfect to have the dinosaurs on there. This is what Jane is making tomorrow, is the bloom wall hanging. And you can see a lot of Lisa Chandler in here. Now, here's the thing. Lisa Chandler is stopping printing the Melba collection. So the Dame Nellie Melba collection. So the Melba collection was... What would happen if, this was the inspiration for it, what would happen if Dame Nellie Melba and William Morris had a night together? What would the fabric love child be? Honestly, this is it. So the Melba collection is all of these. The only one that Lisa is going to keep in print are the fans. Okay? What we have done for you, and lots of you picked it up on the bank holiday yesterday, we have loaded a lot of bolt ends because we're going through our stock. Lisa's coming over in a couple of months for Festival of Quilts, so she's going to start shipping. I've got a meeting with her tonight to go through what she's bringing. So we need to get ready for the new stuff that's going to come in. So, all the kits and everything, we don't have room for all of it. So, lots of you made the most of the bolt ends that we've got. And then we thought, right, that now helps us do a proper stock take on what we have left because it was only full bolts. Bearing in mind that we're one of the only places in the UK that you can buy Lisa Chandler fabrics. So, what we have done for you whilst we stock take is make available half bolts. So Lisa's fabric by the half bolt. Gemma sent me a message. Oh, there we go. Yeah, by the half bolt. We've put a chunky discount on it so that actually you can suddenly start to have Lisa fabrics just in your stash. Big chunks, because we're going to reach a point where I'm not planning on getting on any more Melba in. That's done. as far as we're concerned. So if you've got projects, if you love the Melba, if you want to make some of the picnic blankets, if you want to do some of the picnic bags, whatever it is that you want to do with it, if you want to make more of the nesting pouches, whatever it is that you want to do, they are now available by the half bolt with a big discount on. Once we've done our stock take, we will be able to then reload, but until then, only available by the half bolt, but with a big old chunky discount on. So we'll have a look at those. Well done for those of you that managed to join us for our Zoom workshop. We got thrown a little curveball by, well, could you make the one zip wonder pouch in cork? Turns out, challenge accepted, yes you can. Yes, you can. So we did that yesterday. For those members that couldn't make it, next month's is going to be, it'll be on a Monday again. So if you watch the shows live, it'll be on a Monday. We are now in the process of editing yesterday's workshop to get that up on the website. It's going to be a bit of a mission because it ran over by quite some time. But we will get that up this week at some point. So let me show you next month, because I'm very aware that a few of you, we took stuff to the post office, they didn't get it turned around in time. So let's get bundles across for you now. We will be making together, we want to be together, next month we will be doing, what have I done with the instructions? I've put them somewhere safe at the way because I was sewing. What have I done with them? We're going to make the round bag the reversible round bag handled bag. Don't know what I've done with the instructions. Anyway, let's have a look at the bundles that we have got for that for you. Hooray. So, what we've done is we've put up bundles, and they will be these bundles until they sell out, and then there will be different bundles. So if you would like to go for a Martha Negley, this is the Martha Negley. If you want to go for a Tula Pink option, then again, this isn't while stocks last. So you see you've got your bag, they're reversible, so you've got your contrast top that folds down, and then you'll have, can't remember which handles we put with it in the end. If you would like to go for the CAFE option, then this is your CAFE option. We did that with the black handles. And then if you would like to go for the Sam Wild, that's my prep for today's show, then we've done that with orange. We went to Josh's brother's birthday yesterday, and I made my simple bottle bag for his birthday present wine out of that, and it just looked great. It looked really good. What a great fabric. Josh chose it for his brother. He's like, that's the one I want for my brother. It's like, righty-ho, righty-ho. So they are. Now, once those stock have sold out, we will substitute in with a different fabric. But I know a lot of you started ordering that yesterday. And that will do that. Right. Let's see who we've got on Facebook so that we can say hello to everybody there. There are your options. Have a good old look. See what you fancy. Because I haven't said hello to everyone. I feel a bit rude. So let's have a look, shall we? Who have we got? Gosh, lots of you already. So we've got Chris and Julia and Sharon, good morning, and Michelle. Hello, Tash. First time I've been able to watch live for ages. Love the colourful sets. It's quite a colourful set today, isn't it? Ginny says, good morning, everyone. Chilly and dull here, needing my gloves. Oh, no. Joe says, morning. Ginny's here. Just back from the vets. Hope all went well there. Sharon said, what Zoom workshop was amazing. Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Morning, Sylv. Morning, Sue. One must always have a bag-handled bag. You know what I mean. It's been a long day already. Went a bit bolt-end crazy yesterday. That's okay, Rebecca. Thing is, you've got to get them while they're there. It's the first time also that we'd put up quite so many Makawa bolt ends, but we needed that space. Morning, Deb. Oh, good evening, rather, Deb, in Melbourne. Claire's here. Auntie Lizzie's here. I didn't get Josh on the sewing machine. No, he did tech stuff. He twiddled knobs over there. That's all I can say. Ginny's here, Kim's here, Nikki's here. Working yesterday, so we look forward to catching up. What's the Lisa Chandler option like, please? The Lisa Chandler option, I completely forgot to take a photo, will be one of the florals, the full florals. And I would imagine it will probably go with a plain green across the top, which I do not have. We generally put it with, I tell you why I haven't done it, because I'm waiting for the sage to come back into stock. So it will generally go with a sage, and we'll put wooden handles with it. That will be the Lisa Chandler option. So it'll be very whip-woo, very whip-woo. Do you want to have a look at all the Lisa Chandler I've got for you? So yes, there is a Lisa Chandler option as well. Thank you for reminding me. I did do one of those as well. Oh, Chris said, love the class, hope it uploaded as I need to finish. It will. We recorded it in such high resolution, we didn't realise that it chunked it down into 5-minute segments. So we've got quite a lot of editing to put it together, which we will endeavour to do. Obviously, I say we, Josh, will endeavour to do over the next few days. Hooray! But we live and learn. I don't know if we can then, oh yeah, we must be able to do it so that it doesn't do that. Right, let's put those fabrics there for now. These are, let's have a look then. Oof. These are the fabrics that will, Julia wasn't able to watch, not pleased, visitors coming, so a quick scurry funge was needed. Is that like one of those whip rounds you do and your house is cleaner in 10 minutes than if you'd spent the whole day to clean? Is that what a scurry funge is? I'm going to say yes. That's what I'm going to say. Right, let's have a look then at these for you. Like I say, so this is an Under the Australian Sun. So this one will be reprinted. So we can, but we're still offering you this as an option. Again, these bolts are just a tidge over 9 meters. So you're basically getting 4.5 meters of fabric on a very healthy discount. And we're able to do that because we don't have to, you know, when we have to cut these up into smaller chunks, obviously that takes us time. So we basically take our time cost off. Now this is one of the stripes. This is one of the Hampton stripes. And again, it's a really lovely textured stripe. You've got the gold going through there. It works, I think, really beautifully with these. So you could upgrade. You could buy yourself some of that. And you can make your bags with a nice stripy lining. You could do that thing. You could. I'm cross with myself because I printed off the pattern to show everyone what we were making. What I've done with it. Oh, this is another one that is really, really lovely. I have only got 1 bolt left of this. So there'll be 2 units for you. I'd kind of like someone to make curtains with it, please. Same with this colourway with the teal. And we've done lots of beautiful things with this. But again, that's it. This is all Under the Australian Sun. So that's not one that's going out of print. However, so if I put the ones that aren't going out of print here, and then if I put the ones that are going out of print, so I haven't forgiven Lisa, by the way, for deciding to not keep these in print. But for now, your Melba tile is going out of print. So if you love this fabric, grab yourself a half bolt. Under the Australian Sun, this is your flowering gum leaves. That's safe. But again, I've only got like 1 or 2 of these. Same with the black. This is quite a new colourway actually, but the black's lovely and such a fabulous blender. This is, what colour is this one? This is your red multi, because you've got the green in there as well. But again, these are fabulous blenders. Really, really, really lovely. Okay, so this is your tile print. And again, this is not being reprinted. So if you love, love, love this, grab it now. This is an Under the Australian Sun. This is your gum leaves. That will be reprinted. But again, whether we stock it, because we've had that for quite some time now, I don't know. Let's have a look at some others. So this is another colourway of the Under the Australian Sun. This is the orange colourway. We've had the red colourway. This is the orange colourway. And works really beautifully with the Melba. So they mix and match exquisitely. Now this was one of the Melbas. So the project panel, again, won't be available. This, I think, makes the most beautiful quilt backing. It's interesting, it's got the metallic on it. It's just so gorgeous. And also with your leftover bits, you can do lots of interesting things. Again, available by the half bolt. So yes, if you are quilt backing and you want something gorgeous, then that would definitely be one. But you can see how these mix and match and interchange exquisitely. Right. Here we go. This is your Melba, yeah, border stripe. Again, this is not being reprinted. These are the last bolts that we have of it. We will not be getting any more. So if you've loved, loved, loved this, please do grab it whilst you can. Now we have this in grey. Can I just mention something about the grey? We had someone return it saying that it had a dirty mark on it. It doesn't. Lisa sends this to a very specific mill. She wanted to get depth, and this particular mill does an airbrushing technique in between the screens to get an airbrushed technique around the edges of these. So there's like a darker highlight, or low light rather, just to make these pop a little bit more. So we had someone say, no, it's dirty. It's like, it's not. That is exactly how Lisa designed it to be. So that you've got some texture there, which makes that silver pop, because this is silver highlighted in the metallic. So just when you get it, just know that that is how it's meant to be. That's exactly how it's meant to be. And what it does is, if you look at it over like that, then you can see it just lifts them off. It gives it some detail, gives it some depth, and makes those really pop off there. So that's exactly how it's meant to be. You don't see it so much. It's done on this one as well, but in like a really, really light cream. I'm not sure if I've got too many fabrics piled up for you to be able to see. I don't know if you can see on here. There's ever so slightly, there's like one shade darker than that cream just on there as well, to make it, just to give it a little bit of depth and make it pop. But it is just more, and that is the design, but it is just more obvious here. You can see those little darker bits on there, which is textured to make those pops, and also just to make that metallic stand out. So please do bear that in mind. You've got it on all of them, that you can see here, just behind here, it's ever slightly darker, and that's just giving it that texture. So please don't think that's an error. It's not. That is how they were designed by Lisa to be. And in all the years that we've been selling it, we've only ever had one person go, that's not right. No, it is. It is, it is. I've got one bolt of it in the black and pink. That's it. When it's gone, it's gone. When it's gone, it's gone. Again, that's it in the grey. That's your grey Melba tile. Now the fans. These are the last of our fans. Lisa will at some point reprint those. So at some point we'll be able to get these fans back in stock. But if you are getting all the others, then why not? So that is your dark red. Now, the dark red obviously goes with all of these ones, and that's beautiful. But if you want something to go with all of these colourways, then you've got to be looking at the teal fans or the silver fans, and they are the ones with the silver highlights. These fans have the gold highlights, these have the silver highlights. Okay, now I know for a fact that whoop. I have only got one bolt of the small floral. That's it, one bolt of this one left in this colourway. Yeah, so this is the Melba. So at present Lisa has, I say it at present because I really hope that she will reprint these because I think it's just such a lovely small floral. But at present Lisa has absolutely no more of this to print. We've got it in the grey, which obviously looks rather beautiful with that. And then we also have it in the ivory and silver, which again just gives you a different colourway. So Gemma is going to be loading these. If you can't see them yet, don't panic. Gemma is going to be loading these throughout the day. And again, if you need to order combine, then just let us know with a little message going, I've bought half the world. Please, can you order combine? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We are used to this. This is nothing new. Right. Let's pop these away neatly. They are beautiful. I'm really, really sad that these are not all going to be available ongoing, because these were the fabrics that made me absolutely fall in love with Lisa's fabrics. I'd never seen anything quite so beautiful, and they're absolutely gorgeous. So, you know, what is it Gemma calls it? Buyer's remorse. If you want it at a later date and we don't have it, ain't nothing we can do about it. So you've got the two sort of colourways going on. And then pop those there. Right, do you want to see some brand new fabrics? Let's have a look at some brand new fabrics. We have got for you, Gemma said I was mad buying this. She's like, what are you buying this fabric for? But I love it. It's Robert Kaufman. And look, it's yoga bones. And they are not just yoga bones. They are glowing. It's not called it's, look. It's glow in the dark. I haven't shown Josh this yet. Josh loves a bit of yoga. He is clearly going to need a yoga bag out of this. It's just brilliant. I absolutely love it. If you have anybody that loves yoga in your life, then this is the fabric. It's just available by the half metre. It will be cut to a continuous length. This made me laugh a huge amount, so I bought it. And now I'm going to have to design something to do with it. I am very aware of that. And I'm perfectly comfortable with that. Now these are available by the half metre, but if you would like the bundle in order to make today's make, then here we go. You've got those beautiful cones. And then I might have to put these on a closely close up, and we've put that with one of our grey planes there. So that's your trio, because today's you need 3 different fabrics for. But let me just, I will show you these actually on a close-up. Will make more sense. Because look at this. they're textured, they're gold, they're gorgeous. And I don't know about you, but we have pine cones in our house all year round. And we love them. And I just think that these are really, really gorgeous for those for those nature lovers amongst you. You can wait until autumn to use them if you want, but I just thought they were really beautiful. We've got them in that sort of grey tone, or if you would like, we've got it in green. And I also thought, so at some point I want to use these with the cork, because I thought that would also look incredible. And we've put that with our misty blue for your trio. Bit gorgeous, isn't it? And then they've obviously sent us, Kaufman have sent us their autumn fabric ranges, which is lovely to have in. And if you are someone that loves rich tones, then we've popped these with bumbleberries and a plain. I'll show you these overhead so you can see the bundles in a minute. And then this one as well, with your gorgeous leaves. We found a bumbleberries that we thought went absolutely beautifully with it. And then we've done it with paprika. So let me show you these. Oh, there we are. On here. So all of these are available at natashamakes.com. They're there, and if you head to Textile Tuesday, that banner at the top, and click on that banner, it will take you to everything that is on today's show. So this will be your lining for today. This would be one of your contrast. You need 2 contrasting fabrics, so that is an option for you there. And if you just put in Winterstone, then these will come up, or just Robert Kaufman, K-A-U-F, and then man. And we've put this with Elephant Grey, which I think looks rather fabulous. Right, so then we've got these amazing pumpkins, and they're all gold edged as well. Really, really beautiful. And that's Sweet Pumpkin Spice. We have put it with the orange bumbleberries, and we've put it with terracotta. So we've gone a deeper, darker shade there, just to bring out that richness. So if you are someone that likes oranges, I haven't showed these to Josh yet. Orange is his favourite colour. And I've kind of kept this on down low. But yeah, because I know he'll be all over that. And I just love how the bumbleberry circles are kind of reflect the pumpkins there. So if you've got those warm tones in your home, or maybe you just want a bag for the market, or something to store your potatoes in, I don't know. So this was the green one, the green and the silver. This was where we started, wasn't it? Oh no, it wasn't, it was the grey with the misty blue. Again, equally stunning. And these will all mix and match gorgeously, because you've got that green there. And then we had, God, there's been so much to show you this morning. It's like the longest show and tell, isn't it? Here we go. This is your Sweet Pumpkin Spice range again. And then we found this bumbleberries, which I just thought went beautifully. Let me show you these leaves. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. So they are the bundles for today, which I have to say, I think are rather splendid. Right, but today I'm working with this bundle here. You can see we have cut one up already. So this is this is like a blue and silver with a hint of green. So if you wanted to mix it through here with this green, it's got that green in the background there. So you've got those cones in the blue and silver. Then Jane spied, with her super spidey sense, this which I just think works so beautifully. And then I went, oh, but I want a little bit more metallic, because the others have all got a matching metallic. So we went with the silver Bumbleberries metallic, which I just think works beautifully. So that is the one that I'm making from today, as you can see, because I've cut out my kit. The make today comes in 2 sizes. I made the biggest one just to check I could fit it all out of 1/2 meters. Because of the direction that, I'm just going to cut these dangly bits off because it's going to drive me a little bit mad. Because of the direction that the dinosaurs go in, yep, I am saying this, I did pattern match and sew it. But if you've got a non-directional fabric like this, you can just cut a strip and that will just save everybody all the effort and all the time. But because I wanted those dinosaurs going all the way around and I didn't want to have to use like 2 meters of fabric, then I pattern matched. So I've got an extra seam in it, but even with that I could make it out of 1/2 meters. So they are my options. Let me show you what I mean about that. Yeah, so my dinosaur has an extra seam in there. You can't tell, can you? Just keeps on running round. Running round, running round, running round. There we are. And then it folds up and you can do the drawstring up. Now, to that end, what I thought I would do is just put together some bundles. I'm going to need that in a second. Some bundles with the tulle. And they're along the line, so you could just, if you've already bought a 1/2 meter heaven of tulle and you're not quite sure which ones to go for, then this is what, then you can just add a 1/2 meter of something extra in. So you could have these dinosaurs, and that came with apple, and then I've popped that one in because it picks out all the greens that are in there. Or I've kept this one as the contrast because I think it's fab. You could have, this is the colourway that I made mine out of. But can you see, like that's all I've got. So I then cut the neck strip and sewed it on to get enough to go round. That is my lining fabric. That was my contrast fabric. So that's another option for you. And if you haven't bought any 1/2 meter heavens of these, then we've done these as bundles, so it's all in. So that was with that colourway. And then with these kind of pinkier tones, we've used the blush one. So you get those 3. Or, I just love these dinosaurs. If you want a really close look at them, have another look at last Wednesday's show because we went into details with them. That's a really beautiful bundle too. So you see, you could have these fussy cut all the way around the bottom of your storage, which is all the fun. And then this one, if you wanted your dinosaurs in purple, this is your trifecta, and then that is your contrast. Then you've got that option as well. It's all the fun, isn't it? Now, I've got put a couple with this. Again, it's the most beautiful blender. And because it's got this grey and the black, I've popped it with this one and the black. So the black can go in between it and calm it. And then I just thought that was fabulous. Or if you want to go here with your wing it in spearmint, and there's your pterodactyls there, then that, because you do have the grey tones that's in there with that. And I love grey and pink, so I'm a bit of a sucker for this. And bear in mind, you've got a bit of a fabric upgrade with this one, because you've got one of the Macawa linens, which picks out this pink here. But that is your other option there, whichever way around you care to use them. But you see, because the top folds down, you do need a non-directional contrast, which is why I've chosen today's fabrics so carefully for you. Now, just a low stock warning. I've got to put my show proposal for Create and Craft together. If we have any of these left at the end of play today, they're going on Create and Craft on Thursday. I give the introductory price to you. I can't hold that for Create and Craft because they take a cut as well. So this is your velvet fat quarters. If you want them, grab them today. Otherwise, the rest of the stock goes on Create and Craft. Same with your fat quarters that went with the Tula that we had last week. I'm really limited on these. You could use these for this make for sure. So if you wanted to have all the contrast fabrics in all the world, and if I just pop that there, you can see why they've been chosen, because they go with all the colours that Tula uses. So that's your fabric, kind of get it now or lose it forever. The same with, actually, while I'm there, when I think about it, any of the tapestry fabrics. So if you want any of those tapestry bundles with the cork that we had last week, you need to get them today, because otherwise, by the end of the show on the tapestries, that is far more vital. So by the end of the show, you need to have bought any of those bundles if you want them out of the tapestries, because otherwise they're going down, and I cannot hold that intro price for Create and Craft. So you're better, on that front, if you want it, to get it now. Now, today's make is in 2 sizes. That is the biggest size there, and we're going to make the smaller size here. Let me take that little bit of tapestry down there so you can see it better. Yeah. So you are going to need, now I've used Styleville Fix. For the smaller one you could probably get away with H640, but I've gone with Styleville Fix. For the contrast fold down toppy bit, we have got 2 of those. For my lining, I have used the batik. So that means that I'm going to need one of those to go with one of those. And then we're going to interface this. So this bit is interfaced, and then this top bit isn't. So that's how that one will play out. So that will be my outer. That's going to be my lining. And then I just need to cut a strip to be my channel for my drawstring. So when this folds down, it's going to be that bumbleberry that folds down. And that'll be what you see there. So that's what you've got to cut. So the cutting instructions are going to obviously vary size-wise depending on which ones you go for. But let's just interface the outer side and base. And get that on the go. Now I've used a slightly larger seam allowance on these. Just checking that metallic is okay to be. from underneath rather than press on that metallic. Here we are. And then here we are again. Now for the circles you will have templates, otherwise the cutting instructions are just for the cutting. Let me just give that a quick press. There. Okay, so we are going to start by sewing this onto there. If you need to clip it, pin it, or do whatever, then do. Now I didn't use the wider seam allowance on this top bit, but you can if you're not going to remember to change your seam allowance as you go. Just be consistent, all right? That's all I would say, just be consistent. And if you're going to go through Starve or Fix, you might want to just increase your seam allowance ever so slightly. So let me pop that there, pop that there. And the reason that I did the wider seam allowance is just to give you a little bit of wiggle room as you sew around that circle. But circles, we're not going to worry about them at all. I'm just going to press that seam away. Pop that to one side there. Give this a little press. Now, what you do your drawstring channel in is entirely up to you, but because you do have 3 beautiful contrast fabrics, I am going to, in a minute, do my channel in this colourway. So I'm going to keep that same seam allowance, and so I've got my outer and my lining on here. And again, just press that seam away. There. Right, so I've got my lining and my outer. That little press as well. And then I want to grab this, and I'm going to cut a strip. I'm just going to quickly cut it width of fabric and then trim it back to the length of this, and then we'll fold it back and create a seam for that channel. If you were me, where you would put that? Here. So if you're making the smaller one, you do actually have quite a lot of fabric left over. Let's just measure that off. And then what I'm going to recommend you do is fold this over by a minimum of ½ an inch. It can be more, please don't make it less. So a minimum of ½ an inch. And we're going to sew that hem down. Like so. And then we're going to press it wrong sides together. Et voila. I just love these fabrics together. I think they're so gorgeous. It gives me such great delight. Now you can pop this on either your lining or your outer fabric. It makes no odds because at some point all of these top bits are going to be sewn together. I would centre it so that you've got an equal gap each end. And we're going to just baste this in place. So not using your full seam allowance. We're just going to baste that in place. If you want to increase your stitch length for this, then do. I'm just going to pop it down on like a and then you know that you've got it when you need it. Here we go. So next we need to get these bases on. So here's what we're going to do. You see that will flip up. It's looking good, isn't it? Already it's looking rather lovely. So this is the base for here. You can fold it in half and into quarters, and you can press those or mark them in some way. Okay. Just so that you've got them. What I would say is obviously you're not going to be able to press this. So when you do have those marked on, just transfer them onto here. And this is just, this step isn't the most necessary, but it just helps keep your sewing on track if you kind of know where you're at, really. And then what you should do is fold that in half and mark the, now we're going to be right sides together, so it needs to be on the right side of it. But bear in mind we're going to have a wider seam allowance. We're going to have a ½ inch seam allowance here. So when we fold that back to get our quarter mark, we're going to take that seam allowance out. Now you can just give that a press and then use those creases just to mark it. So I know that I've got a mark there, 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 and I won't start stitching until it's level with my 1/2 inch there. So 1/2 inch, and then I've got my quarter marks. All right, from there. So I'm going to sew this with the circle at the top. So when this goes onto my machine, I'm going to start with one of those crease marks on that 1/2 inch marker there. Okay, and then I'm just going to sew a straight line. That's all I'm doing. Bear with me. Just one moment. Right, Gemma didn't mean to call me. She just dropped her phone. Amazing. Right, so we're going to start stitching from there, and then this, which is my circle, I'm just going to keep having a straight line. So I'm just going to sew a straight line, then bring it round, sew a straight line, bring it round, sew a straight line, sew a straight line. People get upset and worried about sewing circles, but it's just a series of very short straight lines. That's all it is. And you can see it starting to come round there. Now, lots of people would sew the seam first and do it that way, and you can. If you want to sew that side seam and then insert your base, then you can absolutely do it that way round. But for me, this is how I do it. And round we come. Because otherwise you have got to pin it to bits, and that is an absolute faff. You know how I feel about pins. Just be careful not to over pull your fabric, because obviously it's going to have biases going through it all over the place, and you can kind of keep on track. That you are sewing round to the right position. And if it doesn't quite match, don't panic. What I'm going to say is just stop short, so you've got your side seams there, and just sew up your side seam, and then that you can come back and finish that off afterwards. So I'm going to sew up my side seams, making sure that these match there. And I'm going to leave a turning through gap. In this side wall here. So there's my turning through gap. Now as I'm sewing up here, I'm just going to pull those channels up so that I don't accidentally sew those in any way. And then if I come back to the base, then I can just finish off sewing around, and it just if you're worried or if you're new to circles, that's kind of your little cheat to do that. And I don't know how, but for some reason it just always makes it fit. I don't really understand why. I don't know, but it's just the way that I've found. and it just is the way that just seems to work. So that is my lining for it there. So again, we've marked off our quarter marks. Not that I really paid too much attention to it in the end, did I? But it's there if you want to mark them off so that you at least know kind of where you're heading for, then you can. So I can mark this on my right side, mark off my 1/4 of an inch where I'm going to start, 1/2 an inch rather where I'm going to start, 1/2 an inch there. Marry those up with that to get an idea of my quarter marks, and then we're going to do exactly the same. I'm going to start with that mark there, and then that is going to go right sides together, marry there, and then I'll know that's where I'm starting. Okay, and then we go. It's almost easier in a way with the style wheel, but you can just see as I come to here, that mark and that mark, yep, they're matching. So I know that I'm kind of doing okay. And if you're not matching, then you can either make your seam allowance a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. Stopping just short, putting those ends together, and then sewing up that seam. Making sure that the top ones match. And then coming back here and just finishing off. And there we have it. So then what we're going to do, it doesn't take very long actually, this one. We're going to turn our lining through the right way. We're going to pop that in. Now we're going to keep this channel pointing in. All right, so we're not going to match the top of that. We're going to match these raw edges here. Now I'm going to line up my back seam with my back seam here. And just put a little pin in. And then I do that thing that I always do of just popping my fingers in there and just pulling those fabrics. Now if I see anything that looks a little bit looser or anything, then I know that this is the time where I can just change that seam there. but otherwise that looks pretty good to me, and I'm just going to sew around there. I tend to start on the seam so that I know where I'm starting and where I'm heading to. If you want to pin it all the way around, then you can. I think you all know my feeling on pins by now. You want to take this off. Whee! To make it easier, then you can. And then you're going to turn through. I did leave a turning through gap. I know I did. Apparently a really tiny one. I've done that thing of leaving way too small a gap. But we'll get there. And you can sew up that turning through gap at your leisure. Now there are two things that you can do at this point. I like to top stitch around this part here, okay? But if you want to, so I'm going to top stitch around here. But if you want to, you can pin, and it's easy to feel because it's where your Styleville fix finishes. If you want to pin your lining to there, and if you want to top stitch around there to hold that lining against there so that you just have this top bit, then that's fine. But what I tend to find is that I put so much in these sorts of things that it's going to hold it anyway. But again, that is completely up to you if you want to do that. But I am going to top stitch just to hold those two pieces there together. Again, starting on that seam so I know where I'm starting and heading to. I don't know how much you can see. And then all we need to do is find our bodkin. Oh. I rather like this. Is grab your bodkin and whatever thread you might want to with this, it depends which bodkin you want to use. Sometimes I just thread it through on that one, or you can clip it onto that bodkin and then thread it through. What I would say to do is, when you've got it threaded through, fold it down. If you're going to use it folded down. Fold it down and then leave a little bit extra and then tie it off. And there it is as a caddy. So I just really like it. So you've got this as like an extra contrast. So you really are getting the most of all three of those fabrics. Sew up your turning through gap. And then as and when you need to, you'll kind of duffel bag it up. And that's today's make. There we go. In either that size or bigger. It's entirely up to you. So I hope that you've followed along okay. Hope you've enjoyed that one. Tomorrow Jane is here doing our lovely bloom, which is just fabulous. Let me just check everybody is okay on the book of faces and there aren't any questions, burning questions. So yeah, you've got about half an hour to get any of the tapestry fabrics before they get taken down and the stock reallocated for Create and Craft. That's what I'd say to you there. Ken says, one thing for sure, Natasha, you sure I'm making my sewing skills more advanced? The thing is, Ken, I had to learn all these too. So I just try and find the little hacks and the little things that made it easier for me. Because I'm not a professional sewer. I didn't go to college and learn or anything like that. I had to learn off shows like you guys are doing. This is exactly how I learned, is from watching professionals on shows. That was the only way that I learned. Oh, so Sue, yeah, with the Taylor Savile pins, right? It's getting the right ones for the job. She said she's bending them. So you will see I use two different sorts. And these ones are longer and thicker. So if I'm going through Styleville, I've sorted my pins now because I was doing the same as you. I was bending them. If you use the fine ones, you will bend them if you put them through something like Styleville. So don't. And they're too expensive to keep doing that. You can unbend them. That's no problem. But they do 4 such things as this. I don't know if you noticed today. I've actually sorted my pin so that one pin cushion has my thicker ones in for going through the Styleville, and then the finer ones I just use for the cotton fabrics by themselves, and that way you don't bend them. That's my top tip for you, Sue. Chris is gone. Bye, Chris. I use the handle of a wooden spoon when I leave my turning gaps too small. Oh, that's clever. Very clever. So Gemma says the Lisa half bolts are now all loaded and can be found on the Textile Tuesday page. So all of those available now as half bolts. That's 4.5 meters of fabric. Perfect for backing your quilts. Under an hour, as you showed us the fabric first. Yeah. Oh, Debbie, very welcome. She's loved today's make. Thank you so much. Oh, actually thinking minus the Bozal, the travel laundry bag, also perfect. Also perfect. You don't need a degree to be good at sewing. No, Claire, you don't. Morning, Lo. Hope you're feeling better. Could I show the side profile of the large bag over your right shoulder, please? The side profile. This one here with my beautiful pattern matching. Yeah, I will happily show anyone the side profile of that bag. There you go. It's got a box bottom. So you can fit lots and lots and lots in it. If that's the one you mean, that's the M frame tapestry bag. If that's the one you mean. There we go. Alrighty, everybody, I will see you here tomorrow with Jane, who'll be making that fabulous wall hanging. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.